AT&T is another one of these companies that I refer to as a dinosaur stock just because they don't move much and they move very slowly when they do. So let's see what AT&T is up to lately. I know they've been something in the news. They've been in my portfolio. Again, another one of these that's been there since 2014 or something. I am down on them, but this is one of those companies where you just kind of, to me, you just kind of buy it and hold and see what happens. They pay a great dividend. Do I think they're a good company? I think they're too big for their own good. I think that after they acquired DirectTV back in whatever year that was, a few years ago, that's when they got too big for their own good. And there's too many cooks in the kitchen at this point, is what I think. So now they've done something else. They've done something with this TPG Capital, which is a private platform, and they are just doing something with their DirectTV. So they're going to come out with something called New DirectTV and try to get their streaming going a little bit more. So what I'm noticing right here is that AT&T will offload its DirectTV operations in a deal with the private equity firm TPG, and they're going to value the business at $16 billion. In 2015, AT&T paid $48 billion for DirectTV. So, I don't think that's good, but I'm no genius. But so something else, since acquiring DirectTV, they have lost almost 9 million TV subscribers. This network of this cable stuff is man, I had AT&T back in 2012, and the only reason that I had it was because I wanted to watch the MLB Network, and they're the ones that offered it back then. Since then, I have YouTube TV. I've heard of people that have Hulu TV, this TV, that TV. Everybody has something. And then with all these streaming services, you don't even need cable anymore. So AT&T needs to figure something out. Hopefully they figure something out with this TPG stuff. But again, they have so many other ventures that they're in. Obviously, phone service and TV and internet and all that. They're not totally focused on cable, but it would be nice for them to do that. And this $48 billion purchase of a company that is now valued at $16 billion, that hurts. But let's see. Let's see what they look like on a chart. The reason that I want to show you guys this, and let me zoom out, way out before I get into what the chart looks like. We definitely have a 50%er. So we have our high about here, $40. We have our low down here, say, we'll call it 25 to pick even numbers. And here's that midpoint where they tried to break through earlier last year, 2020, couldn't. Had a little bit of a pop here in November, couldn't. And right now, because we are kind of turning up towards the sweet spot, I'm guessing that they're going to try to get up there again. They're fighting some moving averages right now, especially the 200, but let's see what happens. So let me zoom in on this long-term chart and see how we can play this thing. So we are moving up, we're moving in a nice uptrend right now. We have actually some pretty good volume going on that is very consistent. But are we going to add shares immediately? No. What I am going to do is throw a tracker share on if I'm not in the stock already. Right now, I'm going to buy a tracker share tomorrow morning for $28.64 in hopes that this trend continues. Red line breaks over 32%. Yellow line follows. And we get some, nice engulfing candlesticks that just keep moving up on us. And hopefully we can get to or above this $32 range. That would be wonderful for my sake especially. But this is that's how we're gonna play that one here. That's really all I can think of. It's not too special. The tough thing about AT&T is it really doesn't move that much. You can see that it takes a long time for this thing to move. And over the past 18 months, we've ranged from just under $40 to just above $25. And that's with this is where the pandemic, scamdemic happened. So you can tell that it doesn't move very much. And this, I was talking about betas in the last video. I want to see what the beta is on AT&T. And the beta is how much the company moves in relation to the market. And they are 0.73. So this is a great example of what a dinosaur stock is. A company that when the market moves one time, this moves 3/4 of the time. And for example, if you have a big tech company and the beta is 4, if the market moves one time, the big tech company is going to be move 4 times the market. So it's 4 times as volatile. So this is actually less volatile than the market. Yeah, that's AT&T. They've always been that way. They're going to be that way for a long time. Let's go to a daily chart. So on our daily chart, we had a big drop off today of 2.5%. That probably has to do with their deal that they just struck with TPG. Even though they're the ones that are getting some help from it, I think that when people saw that they paid $48 billion for something and now they're going to get $16 billion for it, people were not too happy with that. The investors were not too happy with that. But as we can see, we are literally right smack dab. We almost touched all 4 moving averages today within a range of 200, 25, 50, and 100. So what I really need to see here with AT&T, if we're going to continue an uptrend and we're not on a daily chart, what I'm expecting to see tomorrow is something like this where we drop. And if we drop below this 100-day moving average, I think that this long-term trend will begin to change on us. But if we can somehow get good green candlesticks moving up, and if we can just break through this resistance line right here of, say, 29.70, we'll have somewhere to go on AT&T, and maybe they'll make this charge towards this $32 range. So as of right now, if you're doing a swing trade on this, I say don't. Let it choose a direction. Let tomorrow or Monday happen and just see if it goes down like this or if it goes up like this. Regardless of which direction you're going, you're going to have to fight the 100-day or the 200-day. So just keep a watch on that, and just let the trade come to you. Don't go to the trade, and let's see what happens. So this is I'm glad that I just pulled up the daily chart. I mean the day trading chart for AT&T. AT&T is not a company that I'm going to day trade, and the reason being is we're not going to get is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't think it is. I mean, you are moving like today, for example, we were down 2.5%. It was down 75 cents. It took, let's see, from 9:30 until 1:30. Until 1:30, 2 o'clock to get to that level. It's just, there's other companies out there. If you are going to day trade, try to day trade the ones that are not the, this is a personal preference, by the way. You guys do whatever you want to do. If it was my stocks that I were trading, I would trade things that are higher beta than 1. If you're going to trade something that's a 0.75, you're not going to get much movement out of it. You're going to have your days like today where you're going to get some drops in there, but most days you're not going to really get anything out of it. If I'm looking at an AT&T, this is a much longer term trade. So back in the day, and I'm going to blow up this long-term chart. Back in the day, we used to have 3 cycles in an annual market. So if this was our market right here, we had 3 cycles. We had going up, where you can go long in something definitively, coming down, you can go short on something definitively, up, down, and you really had 3 of these per year. And a company like AT&T would have had that. So you could have gone long, short, long, short, long, short. And back in the day, I actually used to just trade 5 stocks. All it was 5 stocks. I would go long and short in these 5 stocks all year. I ignored everything else. And it's because I could do something like this. It was so easy to do, but the chaos of this market isn't happening like that anymore. So I hope that one day it gets back to that. And AT&T is a great stock to do that in, because even when they do pull back a little bit, it's not some crazy pullback that's going to change your trend on you. And even when they skyrocket, it's not going to change your trend on you. You guys see how much the big news like this came out and the company dropped 2.5%. For today's measure, that's not that bad. I mean, we're seeing companies that are moving 10% on news. And I'm talking about big companies, not companies like GameStop and such. So, that's AT&T for you. So just keep a watch. Let me go over it. Let me just do a quick recap. Long term, throw a tracker share on. Hopefully we get some engulfing candlesticks moving up. Swing trading, I wouldn't touch it. Wait for Friday or Monday or Tuesday or what have you, just to get this thing going in one direction or the other. Day trading, I wouldn't touch it. If you guys like this, kind of trading and it speaks to you, check out the Mo's Muscles Patreon page. join there. I'm in there all day, every day, answering your questions, your videos. We're talking all about it. Today I went in there. Well, today's the 25th of February. I went in there and I did a little gimmick. I bought GameStop, made a couple $1,000s on it, and I'm going to be donating that money to charity. So I'm going to let you guys pick the charity that are in the Patreon. So you guys have a great day, and hopefully you make some money. Peace.